So this is going to be something different. This is a different Kim Clement prophecy.
Which one are we?
This is my David.
Okay, yeah.
Right,
Okay.
in a new kind of war.
Yeah.
We're also going to touch on President Trump's, what we just referenced with him being in office, and then something that Kim Clement mentions that he says, this is what they will say, but no, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, if you never watched this before, this is probably going to maybe make your hair stand up
Yeah,
a
it's
little
good,
bit. So.
man.
The Spirit of God said to me, this man has a humble stature, but he is a genius. There will be a shaking.
So right there, we have to remind people too that he switched gears right there.
Right.
Yeah.
So when he says humble and
And this is 7 years later, I think.
yeah. But also, so this is where Jared Kushner
That's
fits
what
in
we believe.
fits in
yes.
the scene.
Yeah.
Which we'll get into a little later, but that's who he's talking about with, being humble and kind of quiet, not speaking a lot. Because you're like, okay, well, you just said, like Trump's,
Trump is the
he's
the
trumpet.
antithesis of humility and
He's the
being,
opposite of humility and
Right,
quiet.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
so people are like, well, how's he humble and quiet now? Like,
Yeah.
Right.
you have to remember, like, these things are happening in real time. This is somebody that's going to rise up, and that's who he's talking about
Right.
when he talks about humble and kind
The
of quiet.
Democrats in the upcoming elections, but unsettling for the Republicans.
so
So I was gonna say that is this election. Like
Yeah.
if you
This
if
past
you can't see
2016
that right
2016.
So he's talking in 2014, the 2016 election, and the 2018 election, and now you've got the absolute chaos going on in this
Right.
upcoming election. It's just like, let me replay what he said.
There will be a shaking amongst the Democrats in the upcoming elections, but unsettling for the Republicans. Why is God doing this? For God said, I am dissatisfied with what emerges from both parties. And then there is a nation.
So, dissatisfied. I mean, the Democrats have been. You could tell it's crazy. Like Pelosi's been in office for like 40 freaking years.
Yeah.
And somehow she has lost complete control of the Democrat Party from freshmen.
Yeah.
And it's like this is happened. Like, so 2016 was the great shaking because Hillary Clinton lost.
Right.
Yep.
And Trump takes over. And then you have 2018 come in, and you've got hardcore socialist.
That
Some
flooded
of them
the
are,
Democrats.
Yeah,
I mean,
flooded
they
the
just-
Democrats.
Yeah. And they didn't know
And-
what to do.
Yeah.
The
And
old school
They
ones.
had no idea.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, like, everybody was like, oh, well, it's just, it's just Bernie Sanders. No. Now you see
You've got a whole
what is
group.
actually taking place.
Right.
And they're more Marxist than socialist.
Correct. Yeah. And that's what I was going to say. Like, some of them hinge on communists.
Correct.
And then you have Republicans who are also shaken because now you've got the never Trumpers.
Right.
And then you've also got people who are like, I don't know what I am anymore.
I don't know where I fit in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because I was doing fine just being a Republican and not doing anything year after year like John McCain.
Yeah.
All he was doing was selling out the country.
Yeah.
Correct.
You know? I mean, it's like, let's be honest. I mean, we got pictures of him going and
Right.
selling arms
Yeah,
to
but even
ISIS,
voters
so-
now, like they're in no man's land.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where Democrats are no longer Democrats. They're sitting there saying the Democrat Party's completely left
Socialist.
Like what in the world? They
Yeah.
don't recognize them. At the same time, they're not a conservative.
Yeah.
But they're sitting there saying, "Who in the world do I vote for?" And maybe that is how we all become one party once again. Is that
It's like, yeah, we're all just Americans.
exactly
Exactly. At
So-
the end of the day, I mean, that's what it should be.